We go. So we're back recording. Um, so now we're going to look at lunge distance, or as it's called in the manuals, perfect measure. And so I'm just going to take my jacket off. And so what we're going to do is walk into our training area. We're going to pick our spot on the wall, or pick our target. I have this dream that one day I'll actually clean all the crap out of my back room, which we refer to as the armory, so I can put up a boxing bag and have like a really proper home fight gym, which is not that far-fetched a dream because I've already got the space. It's just, I just need a better storage solution, really. I also already have a boxing bag. I just need a way to suspend it in here. But anyway, so we're going to move to our target. And a lot of you will probably be thinking, oh gosh, what's my lunge distance? I did that exercise, but I can't, I can't judge that that's by sight yet. That's something that's going to take a little bit of practice and rewatching this lesson several times on Facebook and or YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. But there is a cheaty way. So what you do is you walk up to your target, you extend, you go to full extension and place your thing on it. From there, you start forward weighting and then move, like edging your back foot back so that you're maybe not that forward weighted, and then you extend your back foot out to come to a full lunge position. So this is my, not the longest I can lunge, but this is my combat lunge. This is my stable lunge that I can sit in quite comfortably. And then from here, you come back to your guard, and that will give you your lunge distance. You can even try that out. So extend, lunge. Oh, look, it goes forward as well as backwards. And come back. So that's kind of my cheaty way of observing lunge distance for the first time. Once I've observed that, what I want to do is move all the way back. I'm going to start stepping just gently until I come to what I think that distance is again. I'm going to do a test lunge. Reach out. Again, I want to lightly touch. I don't want to have a lot of bend. Obviously, I want to still touch though. And when you're at full lunge, if you've got too much bend, I want you to make the adjustment there and then. Don't retract and then try and work out where you should be. If you've got like too much bend, start adjusting until you get to here, and then come back to guard, and then take a few steps back. And then try again, because learning those adjustments will ultimately teach you how to judge it for proper, because you've learned to make those adjustments on the fly. And every time you make them, they get a little bit easier and a little bit quicker until the point where they become seamless. It just seems like you're lunging to correct distance all the time. I don't have perfect knowledge of any technique, mostly because perfect knowledge of any technique is a is a philosophically bankrupt concept, but also because I don't. What I do is I just make shit up as I go every time, but it looks mostly consistent and seems to mostly work. So I'm very good at making up shit as I go. So just following along, coming, touching, coming back, doing it slowly. This is also important to do this slowly because that will teach you where your stable lunge is. How far you can stably extend without risking falling over. I can lunge from all the way out here and still touch, but I need to basically keep moving in order to be stable, in order to not fall my ass. Whereas from here, I can sit at full extension, which is a lot more comfortable and is a lot better in case I need to do something, weird and different. So it gives me more versatility in the fight. Probably one of the big differences between 19th and 20th century fencing, and 19th century fencing, Olympic fencing, I guess. 19th century fencing starts a lot closer and values stability. A stable lunge allows more varied technique, whereas Olympic fencing starts a lot further and values more ballistic, more kind of bouncy, long range attacks, mostly because of the nature of the weapon, but it is a trend. All right, so now you've done that a few times. we're going to try something a little different. So you can switch weapons, and if you've been switching between weapons, that's a good idea. But if you do a different system, so I know Melissa asked for a two-handed sword, you can also try this using a different kind of attacking footwork, because perfect measure is not a question of, it's not just a question of lunge distance, it's a question of your attacking distance, the distance you want to attack from. So if I've got a two-handed sword, if you're new, don't switch footworks, this is only if you're experienced. I'm going to move to my, my full two-handed sword attack distance and come like way too close. I'm not used to this footwork. It's been a very long, I think it's been about a decade since I've done anything with two-handed swords, so it's going to be weird. But yeah. And actually try like different attacking footworks if you're already used to it, if you already know those footworks. If you just start this lesson for the first time, just keep on doing the footwork drill, you know, the lunge like I showed you before, and you know, keep practicing that. But I just want to add in something or show how this drill can vary if you're working from a different system. And yeah. So yeah, so you can use this drill to try out all of your attacking footworks. Obviously I'm not very good at two-handed swords, but I'm now going to switch to one of my other favorite weapons, and that's the fists. So exact same drill, the exact same idea, and also lunging, weirdly enough, when I'm doing like old school boxing, works. You know, exact same principle of distance, an exact same drill applied across multiple things. So, you know, and just practicing it. And I think this, like doing it with your fist as well, is also quite good for, you know, is also quite good for people who are, like for people who do sword fighting, because it gives you one extra weapon that you can test distance with, even if you're not a boxer and don't ever intend to actually do any kind of fisticuff stuff. Cool. So that's the drill. You know, that's measuring your lunge distance. Probably a little bit more athletic. So before we move on, are there any questions? I will take that as a no. So, oh, got some chat messages. Oh, no. Cool, that's nothing to worry about. All right, so I'm just going to pause recording.